What's up, guys? It's Envy. We're back on the MCOM YouTube channel with a special guest, quite special indeed. I have PenguinDomo from the WKW Academy. This is being recorded on the 31st at approximately 4 p.m. New Zealand time, so this is before his semi-final games, just for everyone's clarification. Don't know when this is coming out, but it'll come out at some point. Would you like
Hello
to
and
introduce yourself?
hello everyone. I am PenguinDomo. As Envy has said, I am the current jungler for Weekend Warriors Academy and currently in the semi-finals of the MCOM Iron to Plat circuit. It is lovely to be here and I hope I can entertain you all.
So I'm gonna start with a question that's not actually on my list. How does it feel to be in the semi-finals? You know, you got someone else in the call who didn't make it. Don't know how, but they're just not there.
Um, I feel like there was external factors as well to that one, but honestly, it feels surprising to be here. I don't think in my run I've actually been to a semifinals yet. Don't quote me on that. I could be forgetting one, but it feels kind of surreal. It feels nice, but at the same time, I'm trying not to think about it too much because I know I'm just gonna overstress myself about it as well. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it can be it can be quite hard sometimes.
It could be quite hard, but I'm proud to get here. I guess I've proven to myself that even being a little bit handicapped, I can get here. And I've been having a great time. It's been a wonderful tournament so far. I have an amazing team. I've versed tons of, well, wonderful opponents. Every game has been fun so far, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to have made it this far. I was expecting, honestly, that we might get drum kicked before we even made it to semifinals, if I'm gonna be completely real, but we've made it this far, and that's all that matters.
Because if we look at the expectation of you guys coming into the event, many teams had you guys maybe fighting for that third, fourth spot in your group. Um, people didn't expect J Dragons to hit the bed. I'm quoting myself because that is what I think has happened to them. Probably talk to someone at a later date about that, on their roster, maybe potentially.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so they were going to shit the bed. You then had Starcasters who were looking like a clear favorite for their group, but you guys seem to just handle them. You take them out back and into the dumpster they go pretty much every time they meet you. It seems. Then who have also lost the tournament, by the way. Just saying,
Oh, I gotta.
bloody
I
income
mean,
teams.
I mean, with Starcasters, and that was genuinely a surprise to us as well. But honestly, Revolt is probably looking to be one of the scariest teams, which I don't think anyone expected. We were expecting to come in with Starcasters maybe after the first time we met them. Jade Dragons as well was a strong contender, but I'm honestly proud of Revolt for breaking both our expectations and actually playing some decent matches as well. So I'll be looking forward to
Yeah,
how they do tonight.
they broke my expectations too. Weirdly enough, I
Yeah.
expected them to go home already last week.
Uh, I wish they did. But you know what? We just have to. If worst comes to worst, we just have to send them home next week.
Oh yeah, you think they take nights? Do you?
Ah, I didn't say that.
We won't go that far.
I
That's
didn't
not
say.
going.
I didn't say that. I think it's going to be a close game. If anything, it's going to be a close game tonight, and I think it's definitely going to be one to watch and one for the ages. But
Yeah,
it's not really my worry about who wins tonight. I've got my own things to worry about, my own things to kind of focus on winning.
yeah. You got to worry about that Gryffindor sub in for game two shenanigans.
Uh, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, worst comes to worst, I'll just plead it to a sense of responsibility.
Yeah, I heard he plays Sijuani for his lanes.
It's okay. I play Sejuani for my lanes too. I
Yeah,
understand the feeling.
I understand the jungler's sadness.
I say
Yes.
this, but I enjoy Sejuani.
Yeah, so like I do think if I have to give your team credit, you guys have overperformed my expectations at least. Um, Again, most people had you guys third, fourth. I think that was partly because you were coming in as a top laner who has role swapped into jungle, and so
Yeah.
that can, especially moving from the solo queue and fives, are so like very different. Even down at like our level, it is still a much different game.
Oh, it
And
really is.
like I can go practice my laning phase in solo queue, whereas you practicing your jungling with three losing lanes in solo queue getting yelled at is a much different story than you practicing it in fives, where you're still gonna get yelled at because I've met your teammates, but you know you're not getting yelled at the same extreme. They're not losing their lanes as much. You know.
Oh, come on. No one has officially yelled at me yet, so that's always good. But nah, you couldn't have put it better. It's like so different trying to play in queue compared to playing in fives, especially for jungle. Like top lane, almost the same. It's still an island. The jungler comes top occasionally. The enemy jungler just comes top a lot. And like I'm used to that. I'm used to that kind of like island mentality, island playstyle. So switching over to jungle has been quite a bit of mentality shift and quite a bit of a playstyle shift. It hasn't been the worst experience since I have dabbled in jungle before, but I can't say it's been the best experience of my life. It's definitely not the funnest experience, I should say. I'm having a lot of fun playing with my team, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just a bit of a jungle diff every single game I'm playing, and I'm the one getting diffed.
Oh, sad
Ah,
duck.
it's sad, duck, but like it's been a ton of fun. Actually, playing jungle, I think, has improved myself as a player. Because A, I can start to learn how junglers are thinking, and B, I've started to learn that junglers don't think. They
True.
just do, which is the scariest thing to try and have to learn. But
Yeah.
it's helped me with a lot of things, like looking around the map, making sure my teammates are okay, making sure I farm efficiently, making sure I don't miss gank angles, which I still do a lot. But I've been getting better at it slowly, but surely.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get there, right? Like it's hard transferring roles. I at one point I swapped from mid into AD carry, which unironically I think is the easiest swap to do because
Ah, yeah.
instead of because most mid laners at one point had to play Lucian, had to play Tristana in that lane, and so they've got some mechanics of those champions to just move down into the bot lane and just favor those anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you're playing typically DPS carry or burst carry, and there are AD carries that will do both of those styles depending on which one you want. Whereas swapping from a lane having to see your opponent 24/7 is a lot more different to swapping into the jungle where your opponent's always in the shadows, and you gotta communicate to your team where you think he is.
Ah, yeah, for sure. I think the secret to that is you just don't, and you just pray that you make the right call. Which side to come out? No, no, no. It's quite. Jungle tracking has been a nightmare, if I'm going to be honest. Like, in my entire run of playing League of Legends, because I started off as a simple, humble bot laner. I loved playing stuff like Hogmo Corki. Then I changed to support. Then I changed to mid, and I came top at the very end. I never liked jungle. I never had like huge fun with jungle, except playing like cheesy stuff like Nunu Kha'Zix. So
Yeah,
now
of
when I
course.
actually
Yeah,
have
that
to track
makes
someone,
yeah makes
oh
sense.
sorry, yeah, so now to actually have to like get into the other player's mind, try and like, oh yeah, I should ward here, see how they move. It's impossible because like I'm trying to track them like I'd track myself, and I know I play like an absolute degenerate, so I'm never gonna guess where they are. No, no, it's been an experience for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely has been right. And then to go back on to like the team side of things, there were 12 teams, I believe. Yep, six per
Yeah,
group. They're now down to the final four. I Two of the teams I don't know if many people had them at this stage so far, right? Like I don't know if you have Revolt here because most people had them losing to us. Aside from like Nova, who I will give credit, he actually predicted that they would beat us. Right?
yeah.
He said that they were a lot scarier than most people were taking them credit, like giving them credit for. Turns out that they showed up and they proved that they were a team to be reckoned with. You then have Stormwolves, which no one thought that Stormwolves would be here after like kind of their like semi collapse in the group stage,
Yeah.
because on paper they they should have been fighting Knights for that top spot, and they fell to us as well. You know, there might
Yeah.
have been a little bit of ego in there, right? From what I keep getting told. Um, because I unironically I think they have the best AD carry in the tournament. No offense to your AD carry, but Lockstar is a complete animal. Vigi, most people would put when he's trying as the best top laner in the tournament,
Yeah.
and so I guess it's just the rest of the roles not living up to the expectation of winning, because I don't have them beating you guys tonight. I have
Oh.
I have you guys taking it out. I I'm gonna be edgy and say 2-0.
Okay.
I don't know if this will be close. People are saying it's gonna be close, but I just think there's a little bit too much dysfunction in that team, and so you
Okay.
guys should handle them 2-0.
I honestly just going back to a few of the players. I don't want to give my ADC any boosted ego, but I do think that Lockstar is probably going to be one of his hardest opponents yet. But I do think he can do it. When Gate Ads is on a good day, he is definitely probably one of the best ADCs I've seen. No offense to Lockstar, I think he's amazing, but I want to have faith in my boy. I love my boy.
You gotta rip your teammate, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Vigi on the other hand, like hands down, I think he is probably the best top laner in the tournament.
Unlucky
Once
Swelfie.
he No, I think Swelfie is amazing. Like Swelfie is amazing at everything he does. Like props to the guy. Coming into this, I knew he was a great top laner, but time and time again, he has only shown me that he's exceeded expectations, and like I have nothing but pride for him. But even back in my days of top laning, Vigi was one of the only people I was terrified of, because if that guy doesn't have an ego and like just plays to win,
Yeah.
I I nearly lost every single time to him. It it was scary. It is terrifying. I think he's an amazing player. He just has some shortcomings sometimes, mainly in his own head. A little bit of just having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of having a bit of fun, which
Lots of
is
fun having. Yeah.
yeah, which is why I think they dropped so hard in the middle of the series and like lost a few games they really should never have lost. I'm glad they came back and I'm proud of them for coming back, but at the same time, I really, really wish that they did drop so we didn't have to fight them. But here we are. At the same time, I didn't want to fight you guys because you guys also looked a little bit too scary the last few matches. So,
I was gonna say we're like 0-5 against you guys in the scrims, so like
well,
those games were like,
nothing's.
yeah, you made me say it instead of
Yeah,
just like
but
saying you were whooping us.
if we're talking about scrims, Revolt was terrifying in scrims, hands down. Like those guys, uh, insane
They
when
are
they actually
lunatics
like
though.
have their heads together.
They are lunatics. Even in the actual tournament games, they were lunatics.
Yeah, in the actual tournament game, they become lunatics. I'm I want to say for the Knights Revolt side, well, I'm my hardest preference to say Knights will probably take it, just because I really want to have a rematch with them and I really want to see if we can beat them.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if there's a world Revolt wins, or if there comes a world where Revolt can like just hit them 2-1 and win. I don't think the series is going to go anything other than 2-1.
Yeah, it's a weird one because I think if Knights are doing what we kind of did and are taking Revolt lightly, not saying we did, but I know some of us weren't, like, we were looking a little bit
Yeah,
past them, right? Which you can't do because you're just gonna get hit in the head and down you
for
go.
sure.
So if they're doing that and are looking towards you guys or Stormwolves, then there is a world where they will just get slapped up and lose. Um, I don't like when I go back and like look at the like exhibition matchup between your teams. Uh, Gay Dads was handling a like Abe pretty much had like every single game.
Yeah.
It was like he was like a non-factor. Um,
Ah, yeah.
and I feel like someone who is meant to be that much gap between him and all the others in like solo queue rank. Solo queue rank isn't everything when it comes to fives, but like you have that much of an advantage. You should be the one just playing the bully lanes and like beating people. You know,
Yeah.
you should be out handsing them if you're meant to be that much better.
That's true. I think Abe's strong in his own way, but I do agree. He got out hands, and I think credits to Gay Dad. I think Gay Dad's played amazingly that series, and I think it was other factors that made us kind of collapse. But you know what?
Plus, I don't. Sorry, I don't want you to give up too much on your downfall because
No, no, no.
that's for another time, right? When you guys lose, but
I that series, like I will take major responsibility for that series, like against Knights, and the reason we've lost those games, like there's no hiding it. Like I can see it. Most of our team can see it. It's like I've been going back, relearning stuff, actually trying to
yeah,
improve, to like get back into the position where we can win, where we can actually
yeah,
do things. So I've learned a lot more. I've sort of resolved myself to like, yep, I already know what I did wrong. I know what we had to do, and the team's only gotten stronger for that, which is
yeah,
why I'm confident about tonight. We're, people are a little bit nervous, but you know what? Nerves are good. Nerves is what helps us win. We're
yeah,
not overconfident. We're not underconfident. We're good enough to go. Which
yeah,
is why I want to say that it's either going to be a 2-0 or a 2-1. I think 2-0 for us or 2-1 for us.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
say
mean,
this with no ego, by the way.
I mean, again, I have you guys taking it, but just to touch up on like the rest of the Knights roster, because I don't want to like be like I'm singling out one person on their team.
Yeah.
I also think they have a rookie mid laner because Masana's been subbed out for Pabu.
Okay.
And Pabu, from what I know, and you know, you can't quote me on this because no one seems to know anything nowadays. But from what I know, he's come pretty much straight in from solo queue.
Okay.
And when the pressure gets high, that is when you see if a rookie player turns into a diamond or doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And I think him coming in for a exhibition matchup where there's nothing on the line is, you know, that's probably a good like starting point, you know,
Oh, for
because
sure.
that's where you get your bearings. Now he's going into probably the point flippiest mid laner in the event left. Because
Yeah.
Nova's quite a stable laner, whereas Dayuku is not. Dayuku will look to punish, will look to force, right, and they will look to like go in. And if they're able to
Yeah.
do it, then you know if they can rattle him 2 games, they may be able just to take the series. So I'm a little bit worried about that lane. I think the rest of the lanes match up very well though.
Okay. Yeah. I do agree with that. I think especially mid lane, as you said, I am actually was actually it kind of impressed that the mid laner didn't show too much stress under pressure. Then
Yeah,
again, I think for the show matches there wasn't that much. There was a level of stress, but there wasn't like a high level of stress. Well, coming
yeah.
into like semifinals, it's going to be much more intense.
It's not an
And
elimination game.
yeah, it's not an elimination game. Going into an elimination game, I can only say we'll see what happens. We'll
Yeah,
see if he can handle the pressure or if he falls started Daiuku. But I think top jungle pretty stable. Both sides for Revolt Knights. Yeah, I think both sides are pretty stable. Otherwise, I think it's mainly going to come down to mid lane, bot lane
yeah,
as to whether Revolt or Knights gets an advantage. So we can only see.
yeah. We can only wait and see about that one. But so just to clarify predictions, I have WKW 2-0ing Stormwolves, and I still believe in Knights to take it, right? But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like fight for a way that Revolt can win. but I do think it's going to be 2-1 tonight. I think Revolt can take a game, but it's going to
Okay.
be a rough one.
I personally think it's going to be 2-1 Revolt, just because I want to see them overcome. But honestly, I do think Knights will probably take it. But I am rooting for my boys. So I'm just going to set it on 2-1 for Revolt. And in our games, I'm just going to do my nice sensibility, no ego 2-0 for Weekend Warriors Academy.
No ego. No ego on the
There
2-0.
we go.
No,
A
no,
nice
no,
little 2-0.
no ego. Um,
Nay.
is there anything you'd like to say to your fans or your people to close out this short interview?
I have facts.
Nah, but
That is
it's
my
like something that you'd
uh
say, you know.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, I know. That was more of a thank you for everyone for watching us this far. I hope you've been enjoying the tournament, and I can only ask you to root for us going forward into the semifinals tonight. I love you all, and I hope you can't really watch us, but I hope you support us in spirit.
Right, that will end the short interview with Penguin. I appreciate taking up some of your time. You know,
Anytime.
you need to go get ready the 2-0 them because that's our predictions for the night.
I gotta
And
make it come true.
we will catch you guys on the MCOM stream later tonight. Peace out.
Take care.